So let's take a breath. Nice, deep, beautiful breath. Feeling that downpouring of golden light from above.
Yeah.
And would you mute?
No.
Thank you. As we feel this downpouring of golden light, like a shower of healing energy pouring down through our column, all the way, every cell receives this beautiful golden light from above, that it filters its way all the way through our tissues, through our cells, through our organs, reaching all the way down to our hearts, filling our hearts with that beautiful golden light, filling that chalice of golden light so that it's so full that it overflows and pours down through our hips, our lower torso, down through our feet, our legs, all the way down, connecting to Mother Earth. And as it does so, we begin to feel our roots settling into Mother Earth. Deep, deep down, connecting with her very core, with the essence of her love, her gratitude to us that we are here at this time, and our gratitude for her, for every single element that makes up this body, for her nurturance, for everything she provides us, that incredible stability, solidity that helps us to stay grounded, to stay aligned, to stay steady. And as we thank Mother Earth, we feel her love rising up towards our heart, and then it rises up higher and higher, reaching up towards Father Sky, to that place of source, the source of that beautiful golden light, source of our own divine spark that animates this body. And as we breathe, and as we breathe out, we wash everything that does not serve us all the way down into Mother Earth with this beautiful shower. Feeling that stillness, feeling it grow and amplify, feeling it reaching out from our hearts now, from this column, to create a sphere of golden light, a sphere of protection, of safety, of positivity, a sphere that allows us to radiate out our light to touch the hearts of all those who need more light, who need healing, and to prevent anything that is not of the highest order, that is not of love, of light, that is not positive, to enter into this sphere. And we have always requested that each morning and each night you surround yourself and your loved ones and your home with this sphere of protection. Let us feel, as we connect the threads of our hearts together across the distances, let us begin to feel that weaving together of the threads of our hearts into a beautiful fabric made up of all these threads that begins to grow bigger and bigger as we invite in all our loved ones, our friends, our neighbors, as we begin to send our love and light and healing energy to those, whether they be near or far, who are having difficulties, whether it be physical, emotional, psychological, spiritual, or relationship, or money, or whatever it may be, those facing challenges with their health, with accidents, those friends of ours that we have named, and those that we do not know, but who are suffering, who are scared, those who are uncertain in these times, to shine our light upon them, the light of the angels, of the guides, and your light, for we are all one. And the radiance that emanates from us is pouring down for healing. It is pouring down to help you to balance, to help you to find that love within your heart for yourself, that helps you to know who you are and to stand solidly, to know your ground, to know your boundaries, to know your yes and to know your no, and to know what your purpose here is. The foundation of every purpose for everyone is to embody and radiate more light. It is very simple. You can ask for more light and you can send it out. It will always be replenished. Your requests for light, for healing, your requests for the patching up of shaky relationships, your requests for abundance, your requests for love will always be met. We will always assist you to manifest these things in your life for your highest good, because we want you to be happy. We want you to thrive, and we want you to be a light unto all, a light unto the nations, as they say. We want you to be a lighthouse, to shine your light on those rapids and those rocks, to stop those boats from crashing into them, of those who are still sailing in the darkness, and those who are scared, and those who feel threatened by whomever and whatever is outside of them. For as you embody more light in yourself, you begin to recognize that not only as above, so below, but also as within, so without. And the opposite is also true. Your reality is created through your belief systems. And so we are going to call you spiritual warriors, because we are about to launch our book, The Path of the Spiritual Warrior. By the time we speak again, it will have been on the shelves and available. It is a path of impeccability. It is a path that is a foundation for you to move into this new world in a way that is gracious, that is filled with beauty, with ease, with grace, with abundance. You are already experiencing, you who are the light workers, you who are the ones who are the guides for your fellow humans. You are already experiencing massive serendipities. You are experiencing magic of all sorts. Your moments have their ups and their downs, and yet there is always a shining light that is upon you, that brings you what you need, and that helps you to find a way to navigate every situation, every challenge with self-authority, with ease and with grace. The first step in the path of the spiritual warrior is to monitor every word you say and think, whether it is yours or it is some imprint within your mind that is running a loop, that is running an old story, and that is running a story that is not in your highest interest, that is not positive, that is not life enhancing, and that you might say sets you short. It does not recognize your magnificence. The voices were implanted into you. When you were so young, you had no choice but to believe in the authority figures that your parents and your peers, your teachers, your siblings all represented for you. And they told you what they were told. They told you what their ancestors told their forebears. They were told what your parents' 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 parents were taught, that this world was a struggle, that you were not beautiful, that you did not deserve, that you weren't worthy, that you were not innocent and pure. And these messages have been repeated over and over in your minds as you put yourself down for every little thing that you think you did wrong. There are no mistakes. There is only learning. And if you did not make so-called mistakes, you would not be learning. You would not be growing. You would not be evolving. And this is also your mission, your purpose here, to evolve and grow in the light such that your light becomes a shining lighthouse, and it is felt throughout the cosmos. The thoughts that you think, the radiance that you radiate is felt in distances beyond your imaginings. That which you do in the world to bring some good, a kind word, a smile, a helping hand, perhaps a healing for free for someone who is in pain, who is struggling, perhaps just an ear to listen without interrupting, allowing them to vent and allowing them to let go of some of those pent up emotions, because finally they have a willing ear. And we're not saying you must waste all your time, because we want you to also be the masters of your energy. And so we trust that your intuition and your discernment will allow you to give and receive in equal measure and find balance. For the purpose of all the voices and the counter voices and the ways in which you do not allow these voices to control you, is in order for you to live in balance, in order for you to be able to find the courage, the unconditional love, the equanimity to forgive. Because when you forgive, you allow a huge quantity of weight that has been sitting on your shoulders to be released. And you can feel the breath, and you can feel freer. You can know that you no longer have to carry the burdens that were dumped upon your shoulders by your parents, by your dysfunctional elders in your families, or your dysfunctional siblings, or whomever. It is not your job to take on the burdens of anyone. You can shine light. You can give a helping hand and a smile. You can offer a shoulder to cry upon. But it is not your job to carry the weight of the world, of your parents, your siblings, of those who have made their so-called mistakes. For each one has to be recognized as a soul who has free will, and even the understanding that their belief systems create their reality does not mean that you need to go running around fixing everybody. For part of unconditional love, part of the raising of your frequency is to allow each one to experience the results of what they believe and of what they put out, of their karma and of their actions that have harmed or can harm another. And so part of the path of the spiritual warrior is to constantly be vigilant, is to constantly become aware of what is your truth, not what is what you are told as truth. But how do you determine for yourself, through the medium of your heart, of your what you call first sense, not sixth sense, but your first sense is that intuitive aspect that knows, that is able to feel in the moment, no, this does not resonate for me. It cannot be my truth. It's okay for them, but not for me. And so this vigilance is also what is important, to not allow others to draw upon your energy, to vampire you, to give more and more and more away to them without receiving in return. For as you stand steady, as you know your longitude and your latitude and your sense of place and your right to be here as inviolate, you are able to hold your own. You are able to feel when you are out of balance and what it requires of you to come back into balance. And if you imagine this pillar of light with which we began, with the above and the below, and the sphere, you are like a gyroscope within this huge circle of existence. And as a gyroscope, you know that you must always be in balance if you wish to be spinning, if you wish to be experiencing the life force energy. Diane, would you please mute your... Welcome to those who have joined us. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your balance. And so we are talking about how it is important for you to maintain yourselves at this time when everything is so chaotic, when there is so much fear around you, when people are out of balance and have those accidents or have those illnesses or have parts of their bodies that begin to slow down or to stop functioning. Having compassion at the same time knowing that for you, your path must be one of honoring your own body, honoring your own mind, your own emotions, and your own spirituality, and making that your priority. It is important to spend much time in nature, because nature is the guardian, you might say, or the model for balance. Everything you learn, you can learn from nature, because nature and you are one. You are not distinct, and you cannot be separate from nature. For nature is the creation of the divine source. And as that, you are the essence of God's love, or Goddess's love, or the One's love, the great mystery. It is important that you have time where you sit quietly, where you listen to your heart, where you still the mind, where you feel the energy of the above and the below, where you sense that you have the ability to empty your mind and be in the no point, the 0 point, the no thing. That space of emptiness which is receptive, where you can listen, where you can ask for guidance and hear the answers in that stillness, that still small voice. It is also important that you do not judge. Judging yourself, first of all, does not allow you to grow and to shine as brightly as you could. But also it is the foundation of compassion, so that you are not judging others as inferior or superior to yourself. You do not put people on pedestals. You do not expect someone to be infallible. You allow them to have their humanity, their human side, their emotions. And you recognize that you are also human as well as divine. And that part of the reason you are on this planet is to learn to appreciate the incredible uniqueness of what it means to be a human being in a physical form that has the senses, that has the ability to experience beauty, to allow yourself to feel the dirt between your toes or between your fingers, to feel the air, the breeze, to feel the waters, the warmth of the sun. We do not experience these things in the higher realms. It is only in your world that these kinds of experiences exist, through the human form and through the human structure. And yet, it is also true that you are evolving to a higher and higher level of what your humanity will look like when it becomes less and less dense. And the same will apply to Mother Earth herself, for you are intimately connected. As you raise your frequency through raising the vibration of your thoughts, of your feelings, of your connections and communications, you will begin to assist Mother Earth herself in her ascension. At this time, there is a window until the end of October where tremendous amounts of light from the cosmic realms, from the angelic ones, and from your star nation family, and from your sun itself and the great central sun, are pouring tremendous amounts of light and frequencies and radiations into Mother Earth and into you for the purpose of accelerating your ascension process. And we do not banter with this word very much. It's become a catch-all for the New Earth, New Age jargon. However, when we refer to ascension, we are referring to the raising of your vibration. For as you do and as you help others to raise their vibrations, you are assisting Mother Earth in her process of transforming to a whole new Earth, to a whole new planet that will be inherited by those that carry the light, that hold a positive attitude, that have been able to find a way to deal with their fear, with their anger, their hatred, their lust, with all the emotions that are what you might call the negative ones that drag you down somewhat. As you work on yourself, so many of you use that term, working on yourself. We would recommend you change it to play with yourself. Imagine that when you are angry, you can talk to your anger. You can feel it in the depths of your body. You can feel where it is located. And you can have a conversation and ask what it wants. And you can come to some agreement that it does not have to control you, but you can recognize it and let it be and thank it. And the same with your grief, and very much the same with your fear. For every one of these kinds of elements are embedded in yourselves and are able to be released and reprogrammed to a higher frequency. The neural pathways in your brain that have been running the same deep track like a plow through the earth, digging in deep and only being able to go along that track and not raise itself outside of it. These imprints are all running highways through your mind. All of the neural pathways have been laid in and are reinforced as you rephrase, as you reconnect, as you re-utter all of those words running around in your head that are not reflections of your true nature as children of God, as expressions of God's love. And so it is necessary to interrupt and stop the plow and begin to form new pathways that are of the light, that are golden, and that have higher and higher levels of thinking, of feeling, of devotion, shall we say, of practice that allows you to raise your consciousness to a level where unconditional love becomes the foundation of your new vibration. And unconditional love will be the foundation of your ability to forgive. For until you forgive those who have harmed you, you will not be able to release the karma that you yourself have accrued by harming others in other lifetimes. And so it is necessary to come to that place of non-judgment, of recognizing that each one carries their burdens. Each one has a package that was given to them when they came here for each life. And each one is working on unpacking their package and getting rid of everything they no longer need and can use. And everything that you are working with and learning, and everything that you are eliminating these things for, is always for the whole, for the collective. Whatever you do for yourself, whatever momentum you gain, whatever merit you gain it for everyone. Just as every positive thought creates a ripple, every healing thought goes out and affects the cosmos, affects the lives of those you pray for, and affects those that you forgive. We have recommended also a technique, you might say, for talking with somebody's soul, that you go into a meditative space and your soul is able to communicate with the soul of another at a level of honesty that you cannot approach through your physical beings. And you talk and you say your truth. I really did not like how it felt when we did this, that, or the other, or when you called me this. I really wish to have a harmonious relationship with you. And you connect with your soul, soul to soul, as you would face to face, but cannot. And you ask that your relationship be healed. And if it cannot, that you are able to allow it to not affect you any longer and no longer have triggers in both directions. We have thought to call this talk about burying the hatchet. And the reason is that because there are so many of the peoples of the earth who have been oppressed, who have been sidelined and undermined, there is a time coming on the earth at this particular window that will open up for a tremendous amount of healing on a global level. Those who have been part of the nations, indigenous ones, those who are part of the race of conquerors, you have all been through the mill of many lifetimes. And there is no reason for you to judge another, for you to pity another, because each one has signed up for their assignments and for their life of learning. However, when you look at it from a more national and more comprehensive way of seeing, you understand that there has been imprinted into Mother Earth much of the harm and tragedy that has resulted from man's inhumanity to man, woman, and child, and to nature, and to all life forms. And so it is also important that you find ways to heal these differences, to heal these divides, and find ways to honor each other. There are many attitudes, many assumptions that people make as to the, you might say, the putting on a pedestal the indigenous ones, because you feel from your white European perspective that you are somehow inferior and that they have a higher spirituality, or the other way around. It is not useful, it is not beneficial for anyone to be placed upon a pedestal and to be judged and to be isolated out. Many of the gurus in your past experience that you probably know much of have been placed upon pedestals and have misused their power. But when you look at it from another perspective, you may understand that when you put somebody on a pedestal, you are putting them in a very isolated place. It's a very lonely place. And the heart hungers for something, and the heart will find a way to get that may not be in the most honorable way. And so it is also important to understand, to forgive those that you have placed upon pedestals and honor them for their journey, for their path, and for their struggle. Even many of the wisest of teachers has made their mistakes. Even those who have been surrendered themselves to the darkness have the ability as divine creations of the One to return to the light and to help others to emerge from the darkness. For everything at this time is emerging from the darkness. And so it is important also when we touch upon the subject of isolation to recognize that you are all as light workers, as those who bear the light and are those lighthouses, perhaps sitting on an isolated rock somewhere. You have come here perhaps for your final lifetime, perhaps to conclude all of your many lifetimes of service, and to be here for your mission, to be here to help the world to transition to a higher frequency, and yourself as well. And as part of that process, there is very much of a sense of loneliness and isolation, because you have had to face that as part of your challenge, as part of the path of the spiritual warrior. You have had to face all of your shadows, all of your demons. And you are doing this. And we have said this window until October of this huge downpouring will also be the window of your ascension process from this state of feeling lonely and isolated and helpless, perhaps, of feeling that you are all alone and that you have these huge shadows that you have to conquer somehow. It will become easier. You will find that having done your work and having made the commitment to look at your shadows, to deal with them and transcend them, you will find that your life is moving into greater and greater ease, that you have more support, not just in our realms of light, but also among your friends and your fellow light workers. And it is important to honor your friendships, to help one another. For as they say, we, you, are all in this together. We are all one. We are also evolving. All of the realms, all of the hierarchies, you might call them, of light are also evolving. Even those extraterrestrial ones who have made you into slaves, have turned you into automatons, all of those who have re-engineered your DNA for their own purposes are evolving themselves. And so it is important that you carry light, surround yourself with light, radiate it. Do not think you have to direct it at particular individuals. in order to fix them. Just radiate the light, and those that need it will find it. Do not get caught up in taking on that which is not yours. But you do know, and we want you to know, that we are always with you. We are always available to help you when you call upon us, when you ask us. We have to have you ask so that we can help you. We have the ability to orchestrate through magic events for your life. We can bring you what your heart desires when your heart is desiring from a place of purity and innocence, which is its natural state. We can go to the ends of the earth to bring you what you need, as long as you stay humble and keep things simple and trust and have patience. And don't forget the importance of taking a breath. There is not much to be gained by rushing, by urgency, by hurry. Remember that breath. But also remember, when you ask, remember to still the mind and listen. For we are within you as we are without you. As the wise one said, as above, so below, as within, so without. And so you are in our hearts as we are in yours. Let us one more moment send healing light and love to those who are suffering. We thank you for your presence here. May the living spirit that is in our life come forward, surround you, and fill you with the essence of God's love and your recognition that that is who you truly are. Blessings and peace to you all. We will take a break. We'll take 5 minutes, and then we will answer your questions. And we will stop the recording, and we will record your questions and the answers on individual voice recorders. Thank you so much.